Okay, we're fixing to take this knife. We're gonna get it on the buffing wheel over here, buff it out real good. Then I'm gonna take it. I gotta clean the blade off. The blade's got a little oil on it. That oil, all that'll come right off with a little bit of alcohol. All right, we're fixing to crank this boy up and get it done. Always remember what I said. Keep this thing under here where it'll sling it out if it slings at all. We don't want it to swing at all. First, we're going to go over the blade real lightly, buff it out. Okay. Then we're going to turn it over and go over the handle. We want to buff that handle real good. Okay. Polish it up just a little bit. That's going to clean that up, and that's what you have when you finish. This got a really good coat on it, and looks pretty good. Like I said, I put a little oil on this blade. I mean, a little alcohol on this blade, and it'll clean that right up and be shining. And I'll probably hit the buffer one more time with it when I do that. All right, now what we're fixing to do, we're fixing to sharpen the blade, give it its final go with that. You want to do this real lightly. I mean, your blade is basically sharp. What you're doing is just kind of hitting the edge with it. All right, now we're going to go with a lighter belt, lighter grit, something around 1500 to 2400. All right, now we take this belt off. All you're really doing on this is just hitting it and putting fine points of an edge on it. Your edge is pretty much established. All right, I have this leather striping belt. Uh, really like it. Now, when you're using it, what you want to do, I turn the edge up on the sander, but on this leather striping belt, you want to turn the edge down when you do it. If it's up, it'll just cut that belt in half and that's it. You want to turn it down, and then you're going to put it on about a 30-degree angle and just run it about 2 times. And that gets that edge really sharp. We're fixing to do the sheath on it. I'm going to show you how I come up with a pattern that I come up with a sheath. We're just going to look at the pattern for the larger knife right now, and let me kind of explain to you how I come up with that pattern and how we do that and all that good stuff. When you're creating a pattern for a knife, whatever kind of knife that you want to make, the first thing you've got to look at is the shape of the pattern. Now, the way this originated, I would take this knife when it was just a blade before I ever put a handle on it, lay it on this paper here. All right, then I would do my outline. Then I'd come over on this side, flip it over, and do my outline on that side. All right, then I allow about 1/4 of an inch for the knife guard that goes inside of it. That's I'll show you that in a little bit. That's a little piece of leather you put on the inside between the two pieces of leather to keep from cutting your string every time you put your blade in. All right, this folds up over the knife when it's sewn together, and then your knife just slides down in there and fits. So you want to test all that out. When I mark my blade, I go ahead and put my design in. Mark my blade, put my design in, and then I add about 1/8 of an inch around the blade just for a little give and take, because these aren't bought blades, these are made blades. One of them may be 1/8 larger than the other one, or a 1/16 larger, a 1/16 smaller. So, you know, if you go over a little, it's still going to fit snug regardless. All right, now we got our pattern made. Now there's only on this pattern, this is real simple. You have number one, your main sheath pattern. All right, the second thing that you have on here will be your knife snap that goes from here over to here that holds your blade in. And then you're going to have what I call a knife guard that goes about 1/4 of an inch all the way from here up to here on the inside. Now, the reason that strip's there, you're going to sew this thing right down this edge and sew these two pieces together. If you didn't have that in there, when you put this blade in there, guess what? It could cut that string and cut your whole thing open. So that little piece of leather you insert in there, what it does, it guards that knife to ensure that your blade doesn't touch the string. So it's an important part of what you're doing. Another thing that you have to always keep in mind when you're cutting a knife out, what's the top of your pattern? Or what do I mean by top of your pattern? Well, you've got two sides on leather. You've got your rough side and you've got your smooth side. This is the side you stamp and you glue. So when you put your knife on here, you want to make sure that the top of your knife or the outside of your knife is at the top of your leather or the part of the leather that you stamped. So what I did, I marked this and I marked it top and bottom. So when I put this on here, this is going to be the top. When I close it out, it'll be like this, and you'll wear it like this and put your knife in like that. So this is going to be your top. So what you do is put it over here, get you enough room, but not too much. You don't want to waste leather. Leather is expensive. And then you just go around and you mark around your pattern, just like this, all the way to there. And then you got your pattern ready to go. Okay, now that you got this, the next thing you're going to want is you're going to want a piece to go on here to serve as your knife guard. So what I would suggest, me personally, I would come in here and find me a place, and I'm going to waste a little material here, but not a lot. When I'm doing that, I always allow myself enough room for error on here. So I'll go up about a ½ inch above where this guard is going to actually fit on the knife and come right down, and I trace the outline of my knife all the way down to here, and I'll just carry it on out like that. Okay, so I come over about 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to come down, and I'm going to go down the outside of this. And there you go. That gives you basically your two main pieces. All right, I go ahead and it's not good to cut this on wood, but that's what I've got to cut it on right now. So we're fixing to come in and make a cut on here. Now, under normal circumstances, I am going to not have quite this much waste on my leather, but for saving time and I guess you might want to say instructional purposes, this is what we got. All right, got those two pieces. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're fixing to cut out a piece for our belt loop, and cut out the piece for our belt loop, and we're going to cut out the piece for our snap. And the way we're going to do that is, look, I'm just coming over here. As a rule of thumb, belt loops are not going to be quite this wide. I allow myself about 1/4 of an inch, and then come down this side. That's about a foot. Your belt loop will probably be 5 inches, snap 4 inches. So that's plenty. Come in here and make you a little cut right there. Bring this leather around. Just turn your leg. You need a big enough table like I've got to where when you're dealing with your leather, you got room enough to turn it whichever way you want to turn it. And sometimes this isn't big enough. All right, there you go. All right, let's move over to the cutting table.